The Watchtower, March 1st, 2012. What are the marks of true Christianity? This is one of the most occultist magazines I've ever seen. I did a video a couple of years back about the Watchtower Revelation book and how the Watchtower is not only involved in the occult, Satanism, and demonism, but that they also put their hidden messages within their artwork. The Watchtower department has an art department which is very, very capable of doing their job. Anyone that joins the Watchtower art department is very, very skilled in anything that they want to render when it comes to artistic expression. They are very careful as to what they put in their artwork and their images, and they take the time to scrutinize every piece of artwork or every piece of literature that leaves Bethel headquarters. How do I know this? Well, a couple of years ago when I was a Jehovah's Witness and I started learning about their Freemasonry and their demonic and occult practices and the Illuminati connections, when I started to learn those things, I didn't want to believe it. And what put the icing on the cake for me when I realized that it was true what I was finding out about them is that one day, for some reason, I decided to be the Jehovah's Witness and bring their literature to bed and try to get all of the things that I was learning about them that was negative out of my head and become the good pioneer that I was. So as I'm doing that at night, a book that I always read since the 80s was their book, Watchtower Revelation, its Grand Climax. And in that book, I started reading through the pages and saying, okay, I agree with this, even though I was questioning. And as I looked at a picture, I had seen the picture so many times before, but for the first time, I saw the picture. And in the picture was a demon face, devil faces, and devil's hands put on angels, and even Jesus, their Jesus. And it shocked me, and I realized that it was God that showed me that. He opened my eyes to see what was hidden in the Watchtower artwork, imagery, so that I could connect the dots and realize that what I was learning about their Illuminati connections was true. And I'll tell you, after that night, I was done with the Watchtower. I was completely done. The Most High had sealed my knowledge of who these people really were. They are deceivers, and they are demonic. And every time a person sits and reads their literature and looks at their pictures, as long as they're in those kingdom halls that are mostly without windows, you are spellbound, and they are not letting the light in. So when you're looking at those magazines, you think that you're seeing the picture that they're trying to display to you, but secretly and hidden in the background are pictures or images that are of spirits and of demons and of Satan and of all sorts of occult imagery that's in the picture. And if you're under a spell, you might not see it. You might see it, but you might not see it. But once you break the spell, you start to see all the demonic imagery that they put into their artwork. So here, this is the magazine that I want to show you. What I noticed is that since I did that video a couple of years back on their imagery in the Revelation Grand Climax book, they've been slowly adding pictures, doing the same thing, but not as often and not as blatant. So I'd say within the last year, maybe a couple of times, I found some demonic picture imagery in their artwork, and, but not as much as before. But now, guys, I think they are making up for lost time. In this one magazine is so much demonic devil pictures in this magazine that it should horrify any Jehovah's Witness that looks at this magazine or watches this video and sees what I am about to show you. Now, I'm sorry the lighting in this room is not great. It is the evening here, and I just looked at this magazine this evening, and I just can't wait until the morning to do it. I feel compelled to share it right now. Sometimes witnesses where I live, they don't know I was a witness, and they'll give me a magazine, and I take it. I take it because I flip through the pictures, and I want to see what they're up to. And this is what they're up to, guys. Okay, this magazine again is March 1st, 2012, and that's the title of it there. What are the marks of true Christianity? Implying, of course, that it is their religion. But anyway, that's the topic, and I just want to show you something that was quite laughable to me, because one of the articles in this magazine is about, hold on, let me get it. Hold on. One of them is about spiritism. The irony, isn't it? Because it's the very thing that they're involved with secretly, that their followers have no idea what they do in the dark. And of course, they show Africans there, showing that they practice spiritism. But it's funny that the cat is calling the kettle black, because it's the watchtower that is practicing spiritism. And here on another page, it was funny as well that they would choose to put this in the magazine as well. It's a little boy. On top, he's reading his Bible, and underneath, they're trying to depict that he's a good little Christian boy, and his father is at the store buying clothes for him, and he shows him a t-shirt with a skull and bones on it, and the little boy basically is asked to make a choice, and he's moving his hands around, basically saying, no way would I wear a shirt like that. That's the devil's shirt. It's demonic, right? So, this is what's in this magazine. Here's the irony. On page 8, I have to fold this page so that the words don't create shadows in the picture. I want you to see exactly what I found this evening here. I'm sorry, give me a second to fold the page. Okay. Hopefully, and I hope you can see it with my lighting. I'm hoping. I think you will be able to. Okay, here we go. Here's the picture. This is actually the cover article. Here's the picture, and I'm going to shift over so that you see the right-hand side of the page. If you notice, there's a man there. This article, of course, is supposed to be true Christianity, when this good news of the kingdom will be preached, on page 8, okay? And this is a picture of a man and a woman standing there in the corner of the picture there. I'm going to try to steady my hand, and I want you to look over the man's shoulder and look and tell me. Well, you can't tell me, but look at what you see. Do you see like a witch's face? I'm going to try to angle it even more, give you as many angles as I can, but I'm going to try to get closer. Do you see over his shoulder that face? It's like a witch's face or a man's face. Very often the Watchtower loves to put their god Zeus in the pictures, or their Greek gods in the picture. And it can also look like one of the Greek god pictures as well. Do you see that face? Different angles you turn it, it could be a man or a woman or a witch, but it is a demonic spirit that they're putting in these pictures, and it's over his shoulder. I'm trying to be steady. Okay, I'll leave it there a few more seconds so you can really get a look at it. Let me go a little closer. See? Look how blatant their demonism is and their spiritism. So blatant. And this, guys, if you are under a spell and you are Jehovah's Witness, this should break the spell. I'm going to try to go closer. Do you see that over his shoulder? Look at that. Wow. Okay. You thought that was it, didn't you? Okay. Look at the man's elbow. They seem to focus on this side of the page of the magazine. Look at the man's elbow. You should see, my lighting, you should see another face. Hold on. See, occult religions and stuff, they love putting faces in the magazines or in their artwork. And the reason is that the faces give power. and it binds people under spell. Okay, this might not come out clear, but I'm encouraging you to get this magazine so that you can see it in your face. But if you notice, there's a face on his sleeve that can very much look like a Greek, a, one of those statues that you see of a Greek god. Can you see that on his elbow? At the very point of his elbow, there's eyes, nose, hair, face, everything. Another spirit that they throw in the picture there. See? And then, even between the man and the woman, there is another face. Okay? Let me go back to the one that's over the man's shoulder, the one on his sleeve. And now, here is the icing on the cake. I'm going to put this up close. This is the middle of the picture, and it happens to be a cobblestone type of street that they have. And I want you to look in the middle there and try to focus in on what it is they're trying to subliminally put in people's faces. There we go. Can you see the face there? Another face. It could be the face of Zeus, their god, the Jehovah's Witness Watchtower Greek mythology god. Or it could be a lion's face, or it could be a bearded man. Whatever it is, they put it there to send out satanic, devil energies to the person that's looking at the picture or reading the magazine. They are spellbound, and they will continue to believe in the Watchtower if they stay under this spell. Because not only is the literature and the words that the Watchtower prints in their publications binding them, but they also do it with pictures. You see, when you put someone under a spell, there are many different things that you can do. I don't know much about putting people under a spell, but I've read about the Watchtower enough to know why they do what they do. In order to put people under spell, you have to approach them from every single different angle. And if you could put the devil's work in a magazine, then it adds energy and power to what it is that they're trying to do to the individual. See that picture? It's just so blatant and in your face. I pray that you guys really question this religion and really get this article, this March 2012 magazine of the Watchtower, and really look through these pictures. This is just one page. I haven't looked through the rest because I just couldn't believe how blatant this one was. And there's more even in what he's holding in his hands. You have to see it. The other day I saw a sexual part in one of their pictures. And this, guys, this is what you're letting your children sit in the meetings and watch and look at. You're letting your children look at this. Not only are they hearing people answer questions as though it's correct, and they believe that since it's said that it's correct, they believe that it's true. Not only that, but they're being forced to look at these magazines. And they're being put under spell more because children's minds are so impressionable. And then in the back here, they have what they call Jesus. They have him as a baby. They have him dying on a stake, they call it. And then they have him in his heavenly kingdom. And this is idolatry. When you have a magazine and you're presenting it, here it says on the topic, how do you view Jesus? So they're telling you this is Jesus. You're pointing to this artist rendition of a Jesus, and you're calling this Jesus. You're calling this the Messiah. That is not the Messiah. So do you realize the blasphemy, the idolatry that you're perpetrating, or you're forcing your children to perpetrate as Jehovah's Witnesses? Anything that has the pictures and images of God and even his son, that is not a correct depiction of it, because no one knows what they look like. They could have had, bigger eyes or smaller, So when people have it in a magazine and you have over it Jesus, then you're actually worshiping that image. Do you get it? Please, get this magazine. Jehovah's Witnesses, March 1st, 2012, entitled, "What Are the Marks of True Christianity?" As though they are the ones that have the true Christianity.